There were arguably no more impactful contributors to the Minnesota Vikings' strong 2024 season than Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell. The former is in line for a significant payday, while the latter has already received his and won't be going anywhere. Both have been recognized with Sporting News end-of-season awards. Darnold is the second Vikings player to win the award since its SN inception in 2008, following Adrian Peterson and his 2,097-yard rushing season in 2012. Quarterbacks have dominated this award of late, winning 7 consecutive times. Vikings Sam Darnold breaks silence on impending free agency. After being out of the spotlight for a couple of weeks, the 27-year-old quarterback finally addressed his offseason and potential free agency while attending the 2025 Pro Bowl. I've put a little bit of thought into it. I'm not going to share anything about what I've been thinking or the conversations I've had behind closed doors, said Darnold. There's a lot that's going to happen still, even after the Super Bowl. I'm just going to continue to talk to my agent and figure things out from there. Vikings yet to make firm determination on projected $100 million QB, per NFL Insider. Darnold's strong play this season has forced the Vikings to carefully evaluate their options. Bringing him back feels like a stronger possibility than it was 5 or 6 months ago. However, the Vikings have a spending cap to consider. Some agents argue that Darnold shouldn't take a penny less than Daniel Jones' 4-year, $160 million deal with the Giants. Other teams suggest Darnold should receive a contract similar to Baker Mayfield's, 3 years, $100 million. Ultimately, the transition tag $35.3 million might make the most sense. Pelissero believes most logical Sam Darnold outcome is return to Vikings. NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero believes the most logical outcome is for Darnold to return to the Vikings for the 2025 season. I would say on paper the most logical outcome of this is Sam Darnold still in Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy missed his entire rookie season coming off knee surgery. They believe in him. They're not trading J.J. McCarthy. But there's no precedent for a guy missing an entire year of reps as a rookie and coming back and playing like it hasn't happened, Pelissero told Sportskeeda. All I know is Sam Darnold played the best football of his career under Kevin O'Connell. The last 2 games notwithstanding, it makes sense for Sam Darnold to return. It makes sense for the Vikings to bring him back. They won 14 games with him. They also have the franchise tag at their disposal if they choose to use it. Vikings contract dilemma. How much is too much for Sam Darnold? If the Vikings want to retain Darnold, they will need to either use the franchise tag or sign him to an extension. The franchise tag would cost an estimated $41 million, while ESPN's Dan Graziano predicts a contract extension in the ballpark of 3 years for $120 million, including $75 million guaranteed. The other factor to consider is Daniel Jones. The former New York Giants quarterback joined the Vikings after being released and could be re-signed. If Jones returns, he and J.J. McCarthy would likely compete for the starting job while Darnold explores other options. Can the Vikings justify a big contract for Darnold? Free agency decisions always come down to cost. Can the team and the player agree on fair terms? Minnesota may have genuine interest in keeping Darnold, but the financial aspect complicates things. ESPN insider Dan Graziano projects Darnold to receive a 3-year, $120 million contract, with $75 million guaranteed. This deal aligns with Baker Mayfield's 3-year, $100 million contract with the Buccaneers, adjusted for inflation and market demand. Darnold had a stronger statistical season than Mayfield in 2023, and there is a higher demand for quarterbacks in 2025. Would the Vikings commit long-term to Darnold? A 3-year deal largely commits the Vikings to Darnold for at least 2 seasons, meaning McCarthy could sit for 3 years of his rookie contract. If McCarthy wins the job early, the team would be committing $75 million guaranteed to a potential backup. Minnesota could structure a 2- or 3-year deal that backloads the cap hit, allowing flexibility in 2025. However, this carries the risk of a large dead money charge later, similar to Kirk Cousins' contract. The Vikings could also franchise tag Darnold for $41 million, but that would limit their ability to address other needs this offseason. Uncertainty over Vikings' offensive coaching staff. The Jacksonville Jaguars are set to interview Vikings assistant quarterbacks coach Grant Udinski for their vacant offensive coordinator role. According to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, Udinski has been a popular candidate, drawing interest from the Seahawks, Buccaneers, Texans, and Patriots for offensive coordinator vacancies. Udinski joined the Vikings in 2022 under Kevin O'Connell and has rapidly risen in coaching ranks. If he departs, Minnesota may need to restructure its coaching staff. Vikings get bad news on $104 million star ahead of free agency. The Vikings' left tackle situation remains uncertain. Franchise star Christian Darrisaw's 2025 outlook is unclear following an ESPN report. Darrisaw underwent surgery on November 4th after tearing his ACL and MCL. Recovery timelines for such injuries range from 9 to 12 months. Given the team's history of handling injuries cautiously, Darrisaw's return could be delayed. 2025 NFL Draft prospects to watch for the Vikings. Minnesota could look to the NFL Draft to address key needs. Some potential targets include O.L. Gray Zabel, NDSU, versatile offensive lineman who impressed at the Senior Bowl, could play multiple positions on the line. D.T. Walter Nolan, Ole Miss, talented pass rusher who had a standout Senior Bowl performance. D.T. Darius Alexander, Toledo, strong defensive tackle prospect with a high motor. R.B. Devin Neal, Kansas, versatile running back with explosive playmaking ability. C.B. Azariah Thomas, Florida State, athletic cornerback with solid ball skills. C.B. Maxwell Hairston, Kentucky, physical defensive back with starting potential. Final thoughts. The Vikings face a crucial offseason with key decisions on Sam Darnold, coaching staff changes, and potential free agent signings. With an uncertain quarterback situation and financial constraints, Minnesota must carefully navigate free agency and the draft to remain competitive in 2025.